this pleasant occasion, I would like to introduce myself as Dr. Anusmita Sebastian from the Department of English. I serve as Associate Professor at Tandai Periyar Government Arts and Science College, Tiruchirappalli in Tamil Nadu. Many people who love literature are familiar with one of its iconic pieces called the Ode on a Grecian Urn. People in India who have been educated by the Britishers in the past and people who have taken up even science and commerce streams are fond of particular pieces of literature that have gone down in their memories and have remained etched in their memories purely because of its artistic content. And as students of literature, we are only too happy to be familiar with those pieces. Ode on a Grecian Urn, we are familiar, is written by John Keats, that youngster full of energy, vibe and life, who had to leave the earth at the young age of 29 because consumption, or tuberculosis as the illness was called, did not have a cure. It is said about John Keats, one of the youngest of the Romantic poets, that had he lived to be 60 or 70 or 80, we would be talking more about him than even maybe Shakespeare or Milton. That is the power, the energy, the essence with which a youngster who had undergone a number of ups and downs in his life presented to the world great poems. The philosophical content that is presented in his poems are much beyond his age. Ode. What do we understand by an ode? It is a literary form of poetry where lyrical content is celebrated. One idea, a person or a place is praised and admired in the stanzas that make up an ode. Likewise, we have ode on the west wind, we have ode on the nightingale. Ode was a specific form that Romantic poets undertook in order to celebrate simple things of life, the life of the ordinary man. All the centuries in the past, the writers had been celebrating the high and the mighty, the kings and the statesmen, the warriors and the rich, those in power and pomp and glory. Romantic age undertook to celebrate the ordinary, simple person who makes up most of the population in the world. Their tributes to simplicity are found in all their poems. Ode on a Grecian Urn. We are familiar with the concept of the urn. It is a pitcher made of porcelain, of chinaware, found in different places. People sometimes use it as a piece of art, a piece of decor. Sometimes the dead, interns of the dead, the remains of the dead are safeguarded in urns. Sometimes it is used for as a flower vase. In different places, urns can be found of different sizes. Keats visited a museum. He saw the urn that had sculptured on it 3 different concepts. He was intrigued by those concepts. He was also going through a very difficult time in his life for 3 reasons. He had lost his mother recently. He had lost the brother whom he had taken care to tuberculosis, and he was also assailed by tuberculosis. He had shared with his friends that his days on this earth are numbered. Keats was aware that he was going slowly towards his death. At this time, a man of 29 in the year 1819 is able to write a classic, iconic piece of art that continues to be celebrated across cultures, across ages, across time. You and I may not remain on this earth, but as long as the last person on earth remains to celebrate aestheticism, to celebrate art, works like Ode on a Grecian Urn will be appreciated. That is the greatness of a youngster who left his heart and mind and philosophy and intellectualism to this world. In the poem, anybody who reads the poem at the first go will find the language heavy, and it's very difficult to grasp what each stanza is telling us. Today, I have undertaken, for the students' benefit, to break down the difficult language and the intimidating lines of Ode on a Grecian Urn and bring it down to a very, very simple, plain level and see how much we are able to understand and relate every concept that comes in every stanza of Ode on a Grecian Urn. I invite you to join me in celebrating in a very simple way the grand language of John Keats, which has given to us in a capsule very, very simple philosophical ideas of human existence. So Keats goes to this museum, he sees the urn and he takes a walk around the urn. It's an urn that is half his size. He walks around and notices, number one, there is a boy sitting under a tree in a pastoral setup with a meadow with a musical instrument of the ages of Greeks. 2,500 years ago, 3,000 years ago, we have this picturization. The person who sculptured those three pieces around that urn has devoted himself to the village scenario. There is this shepherd boy who is sitting under a tree and playing an instrument. In the first stanza, Keats is asking, what are you, urn? Why are you so beautiful? So many questions are evoked when I look at you. What is this? Let me see what it is. You are like a sylvan historian. Sylvan related to nature, trees, flowers. You have captured history in you. You are like a bride of quietness. You are the unravished bride of quietness. You are like the foster child of silence and slow time, because it has remained in the museum for millennia. He looks at it and says, you are like the unravished bride of quietness. You are the foster child of silence and slow time. You are a sylvan historian. You intrigue me. You make me curious. I want to know what you are all about. You look very beautiful. And he walks around it and says, who is this young boy? Who is this boy sitting under the tree? And then he goes and sees a girl and a boy. They are playing catch me if you can. They are in a very romantic spirit. The girl is running away from the boy. The boy has extended his hands towards the girl and he's asking, what is this struggle? Why are you trying to escape? Why are you chasing her, boy? I am breaking it down into ordinary 21st century normal lingo, but if you go back to the poem and read it, this simplicity is not found in those poems. Keats has put all his great language into it. There is even a point where he looks at these lovers and he asks, happy, happy, happy love. Oh, happy, happy love, he says. Can a poet as great as Keats have a loss of words, that he's only using the word happy, whereas you and I can use words like joyous, jocund, jubilant? He says, oh, happy, happy love. The simplicity of love that is shared by a rural, rustic young boy and girl before they have entered into the remaining stages of their love, that is celebrated with the repetition of words saying happy, happy, happy love. He looks at that young child sitting under the tree as a pastoral, who's the shepherd for the cattle in the meadow, and he says, what a beautiful tune must be played from your flute. He says, heard melodies are sweet, those unheard are sweeter. The music that has come out into the world and that which you have heard, we have enjoyed. But the music that is yet to be played, yet to be born, yet to be made is definitely more greater than the music that has come out into the world. That music is captured in these instruments that are stone, that are made permanently a part of sculpture. He comes to the third picture. He sees an oriental procession. All of us in Asia and Africa are familiar with religious processions where the villagers, the sincere devotees, take a procession with one animal to be sacrificed, well decorated, with garland around its neck, and with musical instruments, with the piety and the devotion of worshipping their god. Villagers from their village move towards the temple. The sculpture captures that scene. He asks some very scientifically illogical questions, which are again very beautiful and thought-provoking. So coming from, once again, from the beginning of the poem, in the first stanza, he is celebrating the urn on the whole. The questions that are evoked due to the beauty of the urn are asked. In the next few stanzas, he looks at the boy and he asks, how wonderful that you are permanently sculptured. The music is never going to come out of your pipe, but art is immortal. Reality is short-lived. Everything that happens in real life is transient. Everything that happens in real life passes. Man moves on to the next stage, whereas art has permanently captured these three persons in their different rustic, rural, simple, innocent states. The music is never going to be born from that musical instrument that the boy holds to his lips. That music is greater than the music that has already come to the world. The boy and the girl are in a state of love and they are extremely happy and jubilant. The girl is trying to run away from the boy, pretending that she does not want to be caught. The boy is very particular that at any cost he will catch her. He looks at them and says, how lucky you are, lovers, because You are in the best state that two lovers can be. The next stage is called anger in human life, in real life. Suspicion, doubt, heartache, heartbreak, breakups, pain, misery, agony, doubts. All these are part of real love relationships. You have not gone into that. So you are permanently lucky to be captured in the best state. You have not touched the girl has not been touched by you. You have not had the pleasure of touching her. This state is permanently captured, and you have no idea how lucky you are, because art is permanent and reality is short-lived. Coming to the procession, he says, I wonder which village, which plateau, which town, which valley, which beach area, what kind of a geography is it from which these people have come out on a procession. And he says, if I go and stand there in that empty village, nobody is going to give me an answer, because they have permanently gone out on this procession and they can never return to the village. We have to suspend our disbelief, as Coleridge says, willingly suspend our disbelief to understand and appreciate this art. Finally, John Keats, the young man who is about to die, he says two philosophical lines. Truth is beauty, beauty, truth. That is all there is in this world and all you need to know. He says, everything that is true alone in this world is beautiful. This is equation number 1. Equation number 2. Wherever you see beauty, natural beauty, you can brand it as truth. It is the truth. So truth is beauty and beauty, truth are the only two truths, the only two beauties that you need to know on this earth, is the philosophical conclusion that John Keats gives us at the end of Ode on a Grecian Urn. The intention of sharing this piece of art in particular was to break down the complexity and richness of the language of John Keats and present it in a very simple, student-friendly way, so that students are not intimidated by this work of art and at the same time can appreciate its essence and its content. The two important philosophical points, that reality is short-lived and art is immortal and permanent. At the same time, truth is beauty and beauty is truth. So when we see the world with media and all its attractions, wherever you see truth, learn only to appreciate that as beauty. And wherever you see only natural beauty, learn to appreciate that as truth. This is what 2 centuries back a youngster has left a message for us, and this message is going to hold good forever. It has been a pleasure talking to all of you. I hope that this sharing has been helpful to students. Thank you very much.